Another episode of On the Road with the Loan Signing System. I'm here with Jakisha down in Texas. How are you, Jakisha?
I am doing wonderful. Hi, everyone.
Oh, every single one of these episodes are inspiring. Jakisha's story is amazing. Let me start with the fact that Jakisha does $9,000 a month in signing agent only income. Jakisha, when I say that, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it accomplished, excited. It's like you don't think you can do it at the beginning, and then when you hit that number, it's like,
I'm so, if I don't say it enough, I hope I do. I'm so freaking proud of you, Jakisha. Where you are to where you've been it's telling the story is gonna be awesome. But I am so proud.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
So okay, so I know you've seen a few of these episodes. Let's jump right in. I always ask every single student the very same question: how
Okay.
come you chose to become a signing agent?
I chose to become a signing agent because my husband got laid off, and we have three children, and I had my grandfather here who had Alzheimer's, and we needed the extra income because him being laid off and working side jobs, I needed to help support. And so I Googled signing agents in the area, I mean, signing agent classes, and the loan signing system came up, and I dived right on in and
I love
started.
Well, no, first of all, thank you for being so transparent. I mean, you're not the only spouse in America who deals with a spouse being laid off, so let's just kind of talk through that. So, maybe some people out there can relate to your journey a little bit, and so, you have three children you said at home, and then it sounds like you guys are a caretaker to your father or your husband's father,
My grandfather.
grandfather.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that's a lot of pressure, right? I mean, you have a lot of people that you have to help here. Kind of talk through just kind of the pressure or the feelings or kind of where you were at that moment when you decided to become a signing agent.
It was at the point where one of my oldest child, he was getting ready for college, and my husband was going through men, they have that big chip on their shoulder, like they're supposed to be the breadwinner and take care of their family. And I wanted to let my husband know that I can a marriage is a relationship support system. I'm there for you just like you're there for me. We're going to get through this part of life together. And so that's why I became a signing agent, to let him know that I can support you just like you can support our family. So we studied together, he tested me, we did it together as a family. And it brought us closer together and helped ease some of his worries that, I'm not able to support the family, and feeling not less of a man, but kind of insecure with I'm not able to give them what they need at this point. And so me becoming the signing agent helped ease that stress from him.
I literally am like chills and kind of like getting teary eyed. I mean, that was beautiful. What I heard is just, when a family needed each other most, you guys came together, and so sometimes that can cause rifts in relationships, but you chose to take that and not play victim to the scenario and build something that's amazing. I love how he was testing you on definitions and testing you with
Yeah.
questions. That is so freaking awesome, Jakisha. That was honestly a beautiful story. And like I said, you're not the only person. I bet now that your children are got to be super proud of you. I mean, you're a business owner, right? I mean, you're a
Yes.
flourishing business owner that does $9,000 a month. How do they feel about mom just crushing it?
They love it. They love it. I inspire, especially my younger two are girls, and I always tell them, whatever you do, go after your dreams. Do something that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it in life, you don't want to move forward with it. And they see me grinding, hustling. I'm going all day, all night. As soon as I get a signing, I accept it. I don't think no is in my vocabulary. And so they see the hard work and determination, and it is carrying on to my children. So that is to see that a woman can go hard and handle things is very inspiring to them. So they enjoy it. They get a kick out of it too.
Wait until you actually go back and watch this interview. You are smiling ear to ear, and it is so. I can see like the pride you have in yourself and in your business. and the pride that your children have in you is, I'm so proud of you, man. And this is what being a signing agent is like, the best business in the world. Like, you're your business owner and you can make $9,000 a month and you can still be the wife and the mom and the caretaker you want to be. Speaking of which, what are some of the favorite things you like about being a signing agent in general?
The best thing I like, I'm a people's person, and I've said this before. I'm shy, but when I'm on a one-to-one basis with the signer, it is we connect. We find something to connect on, whether it's the children, the pets. I know and I don't have anything right here. Like when people have dogs or cats, I have a paw note or a toddler note, so they put their prints on it, and that's part of them participating in the signing as well. But it's being there with the signers on their journey, whether they're buying their first home, whether it's an old couple refinance. I mean, it's to see that excitement in their face. It gives me excitement as well. It's like I'm happy to be a part of that journey. They'll always remember Jaquisha is the one who closed, and we had an awesome closing.
You know what?
That is great.
Keisha, first off, you just dropped fire. The best part about these episodes, if you know what to listen for, signing agents are dropping knowledge that can help change your business. What I heard in there, some people may have missed, is you have like little notepads for like the animals. Like, you're really making this a family moment together, and fur babies are real. Like, Jaquisha, that was like amazing, and it just shows like you care so much about the signers, experience. That, like,
Yeah.
I'm blown away. That was an amazing nugget. I hope people just got understood what Jaquisha just dropped right there. That's the best part about these episodes, is like getting inside the mind of a $9,000 a month signing agent. Something else that you said that I don't want to overlook, and no's not in your vocabulary.
No, it's
Like,
not.
I mean, I cannot wait until people actually hear your journey, because the journey of 0 signings to $9,000 is a story of patience, consistency, steadiness, and just believing in the system and working the system. But I love that something that I can't take credit for, and that is the idea of your just passion for the business, and it oozes in this video. I can't wait till you see it. Like,
Yes.
so I love.
It doesn't matter what time of night, where there, I always, when I market myself, I always tell the AOs, mortgage office realtors, wherever the open road takes me and your signer's there, I'll be there. So, and I am true to that. It doesn't matter what time, 9 o'clock at night, if they called or text, I'm going.
That is the long signing system way. Let's go. I love it. I'm so proud. I love these episodes. I get to know you students even more. But honestly, Jaquisha, I mean, thank you again. We'll kind of move on to the next part, but thank you for being transparent about your husband being laid off. I know sometimes that's difficult for people to share. Thank you for allowing us to look a little bit into your family life, about your children that are really proud of you, and you look up and I can see you're like so proud that they're proud. So
Yes,
it makes me feel so good. Thank you for sharing that so much.
oh, no worries. As long as I mean, I'm here to help other people know that it might start off slow, but persistence is key. Be persistent. No matter where you start at, as long as you work, you will get to where your goal is.
I love it. Well, let's dive right into the kind of second half. The second question is what I should say. I always love to talk about your journey. So let's start at the very beginning. So you to inspire some others watching this, you were never a signing agent before you became a signing agent. You were never an escrow officer, a mortgage officer, a realtor. Talk about your background a little bit to inspire people, like where you came from, that if you can do it, they can do it.
Okay. I started off when my son was in high school. I'm a helicopter parent. So I started substitute teaching at his school so that I can be right there with him. And when my grandfather became sick and he moved in with us, one of my girlfriends said, go get some certifications online. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got my notary certification and I just threw that in the drawer. And I started working with special need individuals because that helped me work around my grandfather. And someone told me about loan signing system. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about, didn't know the first thing about a mortgage, didn't own a home, had never seen a mortgage document, nothing. And so I Googled loan signing classes and I took the course. and it was eye-opening, and I dive right in. I never no real estate industry experience at all. None.
Incredible. And so I asked that because, I think some people sometimes watching this think, well, can I do it? I'm a mechanic. I'm an airline stewardess. And but what I love about what you just spoke of, by the way, is the belief in yourself. You're like, oh, I'll just go get certification. I'm gonna take the loan signing system. I'm just gonna go do help special needs, which, by the way, is amazing. And so I love that you just kind of go all in. And I think that's something that shouldn't be overlooked, because I think that's a really amazing personality trait, because the most successful people have is the willingness to take action. And so you have the willingness to take, sure, I'll get a notary commission. Great. I'll take the loan signing system. Like, that is inspiring within itself. And I love that you were able to share that, because I think a lot of people let analysis equal paralysis. And you're like, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it. I mean, you can only go up from there. You can only go up.
Okay, so let's talk about your journey. And by the way, this is super coincidental. Today is Jakisha's 1 year to the day anniversary of being a loan signing agent. So 1 year ago, she had 0 signings under her belt. She had 0 money as a signing agent. And 1 year later, she told me today, so far in this month, she's done over $9,000. Do you understand how crazy that is? How awesome that is?
That is awesome. I didn't know that it goes by quickly. You look up, when you begin, you're kind of discouraged, because you're like, oh, it's not gonna, I'm not getting many signings, I'm not getting notifications. And yesterday, I was looking at my Notary Gadget and I was talking to another student, and I was like, encouraging her that it doesn't start, it's not the rabbit, it's the turtle. Start slow, just network. And I saw that it was the 19th of February, and I was like, wait a minute. $85 was my first signing as a refinance.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about that, but I just want people to hear what you just said. Today's the 19th of February. You're 19 days in this month, and you've already made $9,000.
Correct. Yes. So
the 10K hurdle next week. Welcome to the 10K club. That's an early welcome to the 10K club.
Yes, I will be there. My calendar is filling.
But I want people to hear what you said. It's amazing. So let's start from the journey, because this is not a story of overnight success. This is a story of slow and steady always wins. And I want people to be inspired by this amazing journey of yours. So let's talk through it. I don't want to speak for you. So 1 year ago, you got the loan signing system. Talk about what month number 1, 2, and 3 look like for Jakisha in your early business.
Month 1, 2, and 3 was very slow. You're getting adjusted to the signing services, knowing which ones to register for, how to register, how to accept the signings, just getting ins and out of the business, because you've learned the course. Now it's time to implement what you learned.
Okay, so how many signings did you do month number 1?
1.
How many signings did you do month number 2?
I think I had 3.
And then how many signings did you do month number 3?
Number 3, I had 2 signings.
So, I mean, and that's what I want people to be inspired by, right? Because I want to ask you in a moment, how come you stuck with it? Because I think it's very important. But what I want people to hear is, you did 1 signing your first month, but you didn't give up.
No.
You did 3 signings your second month, and you didn't give up.
No.
You did 2 signings your third month, and you still didn't give up. Talk about why you didn't give up. Talk about the early process. Talk about the mind, because I want to get into the mindset of a $9,000 a month signing agent, right? So talk about why you didn't give up.
I didn't give up because, first of all, I have a great support system with the loan signing family. You go in there and everyone inspired me. Everyone's journey is different, as you say, and it's about making connections. And I knew that the more I educated myself, and that's where the networking came in, educating myself, surrounding myself with people who had the like-minded, that eventually I would grow. And I wasn't looking at the money aspect of it, and I still don't. I mean, it feels good to make $9,000 a month, but it is the growing with the knowledge, is being patient. That's the key, is patience, because if you're rushing and trying to chase the money, you're going to get frustrated. It's not about the money. It is about, to me, making the connections. And I enjoy meeting people, and that's why I stuck with it.
I
So,
love No, I love it. I love that there's no right or wrong answer because, like I said, I want your journey. And once again, thank you. Super inspiring because you did 6 signings in 90 days, and you've said, because the hardest thing to do in life is personal growth, right? It's the enjoyment of the learning process. It's
yeah.
the enjoyment of getting better every single day. And so the fact that you kind of had that innately is really awesome and inspirational to everybody else. Because I wanted to hear the real journey of somebody who now makes $9,000 a month. So let's get to the second quarter of this past year. So month number 4, how many signings did you do?
Month number 4, it increased, but it didn't increase that much. I had about 8 to 9 signings that month, and it was with the same signing service. So now I'm getting a habit of noticing how the system works. Month 5, I had about 15, and it kind of stayed plateau with month 6. And it stayed stagnant with month 6 because that's when my grandfather started health got started declining, so I wasn't able to do as much, but I still took as many as I could at that point. But
And
in the
I think
meantime, I networked.
right. I think you said something that was really cool, is you stayed steady at number 6 because, you had family responsibilities. And so I think that's another cool part about being a signing agent is you can grow a business around family needs. And I think it's really cool that you're able to take a step back. And in my opinion, you didn't take a step back, you stayed steady,
Yeah.
but then still help your family where you needed it. And I just wanted to say that because I think being a signing agent really is the best job or business ever. And I think it's overlooked by so many people. And I think you hit it on the head of why it's such an amazing business. It's because you can help your family and still help make money at the same time.
Right.
And so, but let's talk about your month 3 through 4 through 6 a little bit deeper here, because I think it's a really inspirational part of your story. Again, month number 4, you did 10 signings, and you start doing 15 and 15. Once again, you're not burning down the barn yet.
Nope.
And I think so many people after 4 or 5 months, if they're not doing $5,000 a month, they think they're failing. I think you see some of the comments in the group, it's month number 3, I've only done 4 signings. It's month number 4, I still haven't broke $1,000 a month. And you didn't either, but you still stuck with it. And I think that is the key to your success, by the way, Jakisha. It is the understanding that slow and steady always wins the race, and to have realistic expectations. So kind of talk through that a little bit. Were you discouraged, quote unquote, that you weren't at $5,000 a month or $3,000 a month in your 4th month? Because I'm trying to get into the psyche of a 9K student.
No, I wasn't, because my mindset is, what other job that you did not go in debt to get a degree for will pay you, again, $85 for an hour to sign some documents. So that was my mindset, nowhere else. I wasn't discouraged because again, you have to look at the most you're with these signers are for an hour. And look at whether, when you're starting off at 85, I've taken jobs that were $25 an hour. It's to get the experience. The more experience you have, the more at ease you're going to be as you grow. Once you get at ease, because I used to tap every single page. I had sticky sign here, sign here, sign here. And I think that was up until month 6. And I started getting comfortable. Now I know all the pages like the back of my hand. I know them better than know my kids' names. So.
Well, Jakisha, let me just interject, because you have said so much amazing things. The first thing I want to hit on, which is the loan signing system way, and that is, like, in the beginning, it really is experience over money. It is relationships over money. And that you took everything in the beginning is what creates its experience, creates more money in the long term. You were able to think long term, not short term. And I don't want that to be overlooked, because I think that, once again, is the mindset of a $9,000 a month student. But something else you said that I think is super powerful, that I don't want anything overlooked, is life is all about perspective. It is about it's not looking at life at the glass half full. It's always about half empty. I mean, excuse me, it's not like about looking at it half empty. It's about looking at it half full. You said, look, I may have only made $300, but I made that $300 in 3 hours.
Correct.
And that is what kept you going. And I think that is beautiful. And I think that's inspiring for other new signing agents in the process of like, look, you may not be as busy as you want to be, because I tell everybody, comparison is the thief of joy. I teach you that. Don't compare your journey to someone else's journey. Just because Andrew Weissman made $9 grand his second month doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means you're on your own journey. And the fact that you're able to keep your eyes on your own journey is something else I think is inspiring. The fact that you're able to be like, look, I may have only done 3 signings, but I made $300 in 3 hours. What other job can you do that in? And that physically kept you motivated, I don't think should be overlooked. And that's what if I can teach any student to think like, it would be to think like you, Jakisha, is Lois said he always wins the race. It is understanding that patience is what builds businesses. I teach you students, right? I mean, talk about the word patience. I think you've said it 2 or 3 times.
Yes, patience is everything. You cannot be anxious about getting to that plateau of 10,000 or 12,000, whatever, because if you rush there, you're going to make mistakes. If you rush there, you're not actually in it for understanding. You're in it for money, and when you're in it for money, it comes down quicker because you're trying to do too much at one time. So take your time. Patience, that is key. For those that are not getting as many signings as they want at this point, use that time to get to know, to network, to market, because when it comes, you won't have, you're trying to fit that into your busy schedule at that point. So be patient. Start one brick at a time.
I love it. I love it.
Business one brick at a time.
And what I want to also commend you on is, you were doing, I'm trying to do the math in my head. You were doing the $1,000 a month in number 3, 4, and 5, more or less, or 4, 5, and 6. You still made the commitment last year to go to conference, even though you were not crushing it, quote unquote.
Correct.
That, I believe, is really, once again, that what I'm trying to show people, the mindset of someone who is now a $9,000 month signing agent is about going all in on their business. It's about being patient on their business, about studying on their business every single day. And it's called invisible growth. Just because you're not seeing the growth on the surface doesn't mean you're not growing below. And you really, really embrace that, Jakisha. That is amazing. Once again, I hope people really get inspired by this. So let's go into month number 6 through 9. We've only been a signing agent for 1 year. So month number 6 and 9, tell me how your business looked.
Month 6, I didn't do well. That's the month that my grandfather passed, so I had to take that time off to get myself together. But the key for me was I did a signing for a KB home salesperson. And I called him, followed up with him, and he said that's the first time he'd ever had a closing that title did not call him back and need additional information or need documents signed. And that there motivated me, like, okay, I'm on the right path. And so month 7, I stepped out on faith. Basically, I went to every title come in between signings. I had my phone and another phone, and one phone was giving me the direction to the signing. The other phone was giving me the title companies in between. I would stop at the title company. That was my day for about 2 months. I mean, hitting the pavement and running. And with each day, more signings came, more signings came, more signings came. But you have to be patient but persistent. You have to go after. If you see a signing and you want it, call them. And it just started growing from there, where I just, again, stepped out on faith, start calling the title companies, following up, which is what I'm sitting here. I got like 50,000 business cards. I'm emailing people today, following up. But
let me jump in real quick, because a lot of people who see a signing agent like yourself, and they hear you going to title companies and getting direct business, what we teach with the loan signing system and what I really push you students to do. I think there's an assumption that students who go to title companies and escrow officers and realtors and lenders are natural born salespeople. I think right? I think there's an assumption like, oh, Keisha must have been in sales her whole life. That's why it's so easy to get title business. So if you don't mind, if we take a little bit of a right turn here and talk a little bit about the journey of actually talking to title reps or mortgage officers or escrow officers. Were you nervous? How did you do? Talk about the real raw feelings, because I want people to be inspired. Like if Jaquisha can do it, they can do it. Because some people are looking at you and Jake, oh, Jaquisha is just such a natural. Talk through kind of the nerves and the talking, and if you don't mind.
No, I couldn't even sell you a rock. I am not a salesperson, but I'm a people person.
I want people to be inspired that, you know, someone who does $9,000 a month is just like them. In the beginning, they're super nervous. Talk about kind of overcoming those nerves, or more talk about kind of your experience of breaking through to get the courage to talk to these escrow officers and title officers. So, you know, like, I don't know if you've seen Robin Schmidt's video. She said she had to run into a store and get deodorant because she was sweating so bad. And so, you know, what's your journey like getting through your nerves? Were you nervous? Talk more about that.
Okay, first of all, make sure you go use the bathroom first because your nerves, I mean, your palms are sweating, it feels like you're gonna have a heart attack, you have a panic attack. I mean, it just feels like you're walking into a jury that's gonna judge you. Like that's how, I mean, it's so nervous. And when you get in there, you get to study, you don't know what to say, or you don't want to come off aggressive, but you don't want to come off as that you're not handling business, what your purpose is.
How did you overcome the sweaty palms, the nerves? Like, what gave you the courage to go do it? Inspire someone on like the moment they're sitting in the car and they're like, okay, they're having the same nerves you are. What gave you the oomph in the beginning to go do it? Or is there any tips you can give on just going to do that?
Go do it. What's the worst can happen? You have to step out on faith. I can't say that enough. Once you do, it's just like your first sign. You're nervous. You think you're going to mess up or anything, but you do it, and you know this is not the end of the world. Same thing is with going to the title company and stuff. It's very nervous. Even to this day, I'm nervous about going into title companies. I'm like, Robin, have an extra shirt in the car. Go to the bathroom first before you go to the title company, and just, you know, turn on some music that's going to amp you up and then go in there.
I love it. I think you said something that I think is really, really inspirational, and the truth. And what I kind of teach you students is experience is your best teacher.
It is.
Truly embrace that fact. And you just understand that you can't get better at something until you start doing that something. You can never get better. And I think what I just heard from you is you realize that I'm going to be nervous, but in order to be unnervous, if that's a word, to not be as nervous, you have to go through the early learning curve. And that I think is important to get into the psyche of a $9,000 a month signing agent, is understanding, or more importantly, embracing the fact that there's going to be a learning curve and you just got to push through it.
Correct. You have to push through it, because when I first started networking to title companies, and I posted it in the group, I had a horrible experience. And it was one that if I was not persistent, I would have let that discourage me. But I didn't let that discourage me. That's just one title company. There are a million title companies in this area. Just keep going. Be persistent, because one person doesn't stop a show. You know, you just keep moving. It doesn't. I know it seemed like if you take that step, it's the end of the world. You're gonna walk off a cliff, or I mean, I'm dramatic. But if you take that step, it's the best step you would have taken in life. Just do, like Nike, just do it.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about month 9 through 12. That's the past 3 months. That's when business has gone bananas. Let's talk through it. So what's your past months look like?
My past 3 months have been overwhelming, exciting, adventurous. I am getting requests left and right from title companies that I didn't even know existed, are sending me emails because they've heard through word of mouth or different things. So I'm pretty back to back to back to back in signings where I normally start at 7 a.m. and I will take a 10 o'clock signing. So I'll get home by 11, 11:30, and I'm up at it again. As you say, everybody's journey is different. Some people work with the realtors really well with selling and stuff. I go directly to the title companies or to the mortgage officers. So networking has really skyrocketed my business at this point where
Okay, so
um,
let's talk about the numbers. So month of that, so you're averaging how much money in the past 3 months per month?
see, this month is 9. Last month was 8,700. That's this February, January, December. It was 8,000. I was right at the point of 9,000. It's like 8,900 and something something. So I was almost at 9,000 then, but the holidays and stuff, I had to take that into effect.
Few things I really want to touch base on is you did basically $3,000 in the first 6 months of your entire early business.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're doing $8,000 a month like clockwork.
Correct.
That is inspiring.
Yeah, it's hard work and long journey. Patience. That is, and I'm going to put that on my wall. Patience is key. It's key.
It is. I want people to see that, right? I mean, like I said, we have everybody's journey is different. We have some students who do $5,000 a month right out of the gate. You did less than 5,000 your first 6 months, but now you're going to break the 10K club, and that is the mindset of somebody who is going to be a six-figure signing agent this year. You heard me.
Yeah.
How incredible does that sound? Like a year ago, did you think you can conceptually wrap your mind around being a business owner that does $100,000 a year?
Never in my wildest dream would I have ever imagined that I would be in the place in life that I am now. Never. You couldn't have paid me to think that I would be here. I was like, you're crazy. No, but
Yeah, that's something
no.
else I commend you on is, I always tell all the new students, that the most successful people on this planet are implementers. You don't recreate the wheel.
No.
You bought the course, you did what's in the course, and you worked your tail off, and that equals success. There's so many new students we have who don't follow what's in the course. They only watch one mentorship video instead of all the mentorship videos, or they don't go to conference, or they're not reading like it took you 3 months, you said, to go through the course back and forth with your husband. He was testing you, he was quizzing you. Like, you're just an epic implementer. The follow-up sequence that you learned, that's just implementing, right? And that's what our students should be inspired by, is they just implement, trust the process, work the process, and work your tail off, and everything else comes out.
Just follow what is in the course, and I promise you, you will be successful. Patience and steady is key. That's key. It's already, he already wrote the book for you. All you gotta do is do it. What he said. There's nothing, there's no magic pill that I took. There's nothing. I followed the loan signing system course, and it got me where I'm at today.
Love it. I love it. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing your journey. I always like to get into some meat and potatoes to actually help some signing agents. So you've already given like a million great little gold nuggets in this conversation, but let's try to be specific. Okay. I always ask the successful signing agents like yourself, what is one very specific tip you would give a new signing agent to help, or a veteran signing agent to help grow their business?
I hear this a lot from signers as well as the escrow officers and title companies or whoever. Explain the document, know the documents. Don't be the agent that just says sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here. Because sometimes those sign here's and they don't understand what they're signing, that can end up as a cancellation. And then when you get back to the escrow officer, they're like, so you didn't explain it. So don't you don't have to go into detail, but know what you're having them sign. Have some type of summary of what you're having them sign.
Love it.
That will take you a long way.
Good piece of advice for ninth. And that's what I always tell you students is in fact, we're supposed to generally describe the loan documents. Our job's not to explain, that's the LOs, but we can point out information that exists on the paperwork to help them feel more comfortable with the process. And once again, you're just a huge implementer. This is epic. And I love that you're telling other new students of how important that little tiny piece of the journey is. And because I love how you related it to like maybe a canceled file. And if a canceled file happens under your watch, you look bad up to the EO or TO or the loan officer. And so if you good, that's how you get more business. A phenomenal tip. So let's always end with the question I ask every successful signing agent, and that is, looking back on your journey a whole whopping year ago. Once again, I want to put this in perspective. You've been a signing agent for a year. That is it. You were never a signing agent, and now you're going to make $10,000 in one calendar month. Like, that is insane. I think that's overnight success, but incredible.
It's not. It was a long journey.
I love it. So let's talk about what I always ask to end these, because a lot of new signing agents watch this and they're getting inspired. They're Jakisha, okay, I want to be a signing agent. What is something that you were nervous about in the beginning of your journey? Looking back at the young Jakisha signing agent, what is something looking back, you're like, man, why was I even nervous about that to begin with? What's
missing signatures.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Because you have so many documents, at the beginning, it seems like a lot of documents. It seems like all these papers that you're going to have to sign. And that's why at the beginning I tabbed a lot, everything, signatures, initials, making sure, I mean, I was very kind of OCD with it at the beginning. Like, I was nervous that the signer wasn't going to receive it well, that I was going to mess up something. But it was, looking at it now, it was not as bad as I thought it would be. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing, so let me try to summarize it if I'm hearing it correctly. In the beginning, you were overwhelmed with the idea that I need to collect, let's say, 100 signatures. And you were overwhelmed with the idea of like, how in the world am I not going to miss one? And now looking back, you're like, man, it's actually much easier than I anticipated it was going to be. But in the beginning, you were nervous about, oh, shoot, I'm going to miss an initial, I'm going to miss a signature. But it's become as easy as, once again, letting experience be your best teacher.
Correct.
And getting out. I summarized that right.
You summarized, you hit it right on the nose. One experience has helped me know the documents, know where I know where every signature go on every page. I mean, I can't stress enough to just take the course and study the course, the videos. It will make life a lot easier. I'm telling you. Your nerves are still gonna be there, but it's an easy transition, especially if you know nothing about the mortgage industry. And I knew nothing. And if you're not a salesperson, neither am I. So you guys do great.
Let's end it with that. I'm on the way out. That was an amazing ending, but I always like to see if there's one more thing on your brain. Is there anything inspirational you can leave this conversation with to somebody watching? Anything you want to inspire them with?
One thing I would say is, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid, whether you're in the signing and have to call the title company, or whether you're at home preparing your documents and you don't understand something. That's why we are here as a LSS. We are a family. And when we say family, we do mean family. We are here. Ask questions. Your success is our success. We are here for you. So that is my...
All right, with that being said, Jakisha, thank you so much. Continued success. I'm going to see you at conference this year with your 10K plaque on stage.
Yes, and I'm going to dance across it.
I'm going to hold you to that. I'll see you at conference, Jakisha. Bye.
Bye, Mark. Thank you.